What is up, guys? Happy 4th of July to everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're going to be doing we're doing a best ball draft, drafters.com. We're going to be doing the $20 milli, which I believe is 300K to first. It looks like we drew the 8th overall spot. I'm going to hop into a screen share here and show you guys what we're working on. And let's just do some housekeeping. We got about a minute before the draft starts. This will be my 16th milli draft, so we do have some experience in these lobbies. But I want to do a shout out. If you guys are new to drafters, you can use my promo code. There should be a link in the description. But some people used it not too long ago, so I just want to give them a shout out real quick. Let me see what we got in the refer a friend. So yeah, if you sign up with my promo code, TheFellowKGB, you're going to get a $20 cash bonus. And I just want to shout out Colton Slavey and Beamer and Bud. Those were the last two guys to use the promo code. So congrats on your free $20. And again, sign up with the promo code, TheFellowKGB. When you deposit, you get your $20 and I'll get a kickback too. So that's cool. But anyways, here we go. We're set to begin. Throughout the draft, I'm gonna pull up my rankings and my projections and things like that. So we'll kind of go back and forth with these things. I'm just dialing these up right now. When I do these best ball drafts, I like to have it filtered by my flex tab. So that basically it's just kind of like a rankings of flex. So that'll be helpful for us. And we are underway. And then before we get to my pick, I just want to say I did update everything on the fantasyfellowship.com. If you go to the 2023 playbook, you're going to see all of my rankings, projections, cheat sheets, and more. I did this yesterday, so rankings are fresh, cheat sheets are fresh, all the projections are updated, and the ones by team. So by team projections, all good to go there. I'm probably going to update these advanced projections at some point this week, but yeah, everything's in there. And then I did put out I'm going to cover a video of this 2022 RB target video. There's some good nuggets in here, just looking at how many times teams are throwing to the running back and how they relate to fantasy points here. So check that article out. I'll do a video covering that probably either tonight or tomorrow. But either way, let's have fun. Let's get this drafters $20 million draft going. Looks like Jamar Chase at 101, Christian McCaffrey 102, and then the rare Justin Jefferson falling to number 3. I don't think I've seen that very often, so that is a gift. Congrats to Harlem Brown for the Justin Jefferson at the 103 spot. Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill. Throughout the video too, I'm gonna kind of just manage my player exposures here. I've been doing a ton of these drafts. I've got a lot of the $3 drafts on Drafters, and I'm starting to ramp up my $20 drafts. But as it stands right now, I just want to look and see my overall exposure at the top here. I've got about 8% Kelsey, 9% Tyreek Hill. Austin Eckler is 13%, and I'm about 7% on Stephon Diggs. So with this 8th overall pick here, it looks like we're going to get Eckler or Diggs, and we get Diggs to fall to us. So I don't mind taking Stephon Diggs here. A.J. Brown, Bijan Robinson, also in my consideration, but I don't mind sticking to ADP here. I have 20 seconds. I do have Stephon Diggs as my 8th ranked player here, so it fits. I do have Bijan here at the 7 spot. And again, I'm about 9% Bijan. So if I take Stephon Diggs here, that gets my shares up. So we will collect Stephon Diggs and see what happens. So we got our wide receiver 1 locked in to here, and yeah, we'll see what happens on the round 2 turn. For my exposures, I am a little light on some of the running backs. I'm light on Saquon Barkley, I'm light on Chubb, and I'm light on Jonathan Taylor. So because we got a running back, I don't mind maybe grabbing we got Diggs. I don't mind grabbing a running back here, so that might be the move. But after Diggs, you see CeeDee Lamb go and AJ Brown. I'm going to see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys. And hey, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. It lets people know that this is a good video to watch. And yeah, man, we've been on a nice little subscriber boost this last month. Month of June's been really good for the fellowship. I think we're up to almost 750 subscribers. So we're trying to hit the 1,000 mark before the season starts. Hook us up. Help us out. Let's grow. And we're into round 2 now. You see the Bijan Robinson falling to 12, Garrett Wilson at 13. There goes Saquon Barkley, so he's off our list. I have not taken a lot of Devontae Adams. He just went at 15. My Devontae Adams exposure is really low. It's about 4%. And for the most part, you want to be at 8% because 1 divided by 12 is about 8%. That's kind of the market rate for these guys. But Jalen Waddle, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, we're on deck here. Those are the available. Jonathan Taylor goes. I do think Jalen Waddle or Nick Chubb are my 2 options. Let me just look at my projections. And again, that's Nick Chubb and Jalen Waddle. I got Jalen Waddle as my 18th ranked player. I have Nick Chubb as my 10th best player. I'm very excited about Nick Chubb. I think there's going to be more passing opportunities for him in the game this year. So I'm going to take Nick Chubb and make sure I lock in one of these top 5 running back potentials. McCaffrey, Eckler, Bijan, Barkley, JT, and Nick Chubb, the first 6 running backs off the board. I mean, I got Nick Chubb as my RB4 in full PPR right now. I have him projected for a decent amount of receiving work, and it's probably not even his career highs. I think a couple of years ago, let's see, yeah, back in 2020, he had 38 receptions, 51 targets. Didn't run the ball a lot because that's Kareem Hunt. My bad. I thought he had a lot of targets. Yeah, this was the year 2019. Nick Chubb ran for 1,500 yards, 36 receptions, 278 yards, 261 PPR points. I have him exceeding that this year. So I just want to look up Nick Chubb for a second here. So let's go look at what he did. And again, his points per game that season 2019. Let's see where he finished. Nick Chubb was RB8 that year. He only had 8 touchdowns, 0 rushing. If you add some touchdown totals to that, I think he's got top 5 potential at the position. So I like Nick Chubb here. Derrick Henry at 18. That's an interesting situation. Jalen Waddle, Tony Pollard, Devonta Smith, Josh Jacobs, and Chris Olave. So there we have it. And then I just want to shout out too, if you guys ever miss the YouTube channels, I do upload everything to podcast format. So we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, I think Breaker and a couple other ones. Anchor is where I post that stuff. So if you want to check out all the podcast links and you missed the YouTube video, go ahead and do that. On Spotify, I know you can actually watch the video. So the other podcast platforms don't do that. But hey, if you want to check us out on Spotify, give us a ranking, all that good stuff, that would be greatly appreciated. But we're into the 3rd round now. You see the team here at number 1, stacks Ja'Marr Chase with his T. Higgins. And then he gets Ramondre Stevenson on the round 3 pick number 1. I like our balanced approach here. Stephon Diggs, Nick Chubb. We're going to basically collect. If a running back falls there, I'll consider it, but we're probably going to end up taking wide receiver here. Noted here, no quarterbacks off the board. There goes Jalen Hurts. If we can get Josh Allen to fall to us, that would be pretty sweet. Hopefully this team here takes his Pat Mahomes with Travis Kelce. And this is a trend that I mean, if you started drafting in early June, late May, we saw all 3 quarterbacks go in the 2nd round, and now that's just kind of not the case. There goes Mark Andrews. This guy should probably just take his Patrick Mahomes here. That's a gift to get Kelce at 6, Mahomes at the 30th overall pick with Jalen Waddle. Whew. And fingers crossed here, man. Let's hope to get our guy Josh Allen. There goes Mahomes, and hopefully Clinton Jr. here do the right thing. And he takes Josh Allen. He can't let us have nice things. He takes Josh Allen and pairs him with Austin Eckler and Derrick Henry. So that's kind of frustrating. We're up to pick, though. I could take Lamar Jackson here. His ADP is 34. I have him. This is pick 32. Keenan Allen is the top available wide receiver. I could just take him and just get a ton of receptions with that. And I did put Justin Herbert as the main video guy here on the thumbnail. So we'll take Keenan Allen, see what happens. We get him a few picks after ADP. I just want to see what my Keenan Allen exposure rates are. Let's see. Keenan Allen. I got 11% Keenan Allen. So I've been taking him, but guess what? Like my ADP on Keenan is 36.5 and his ADP is 28. So I've been racking up a good amount of shares at a discount, and he continues to climb up the boards. I think people are beginning to realize that Keenan Allen's a really good 3rd round pick right now. Look at his numbers from last year. So again, he missed a good portion of the season, but from week 11 on, these are his fantasy PPR outages: 12, 15, 20, 21, 16, 21, 11, 30, and 12. So he's got some boom spike weeks here. He had multiple games of 100 yards, multiple games of double-digit catches. He had 4 touchdowns in this span. I like getting Keenan Allen on my team here. And yeah, it would have been really nice to get Josh Allen here. That would have been super nice. This guy was probably just being a stinker, saw that we had Diggs, didn't want us to have that. But oh well. After Keenan Allen goes, you see Amari Cooper, Christian Kirk, Lamar Jackson, and Calvin Ridley round out the 3rd round. I just want to take a peek here at my flex rankings. I want to see where Keenan Allen comes in. He's my 33rd ranked player. So we get him at, I think, pick 32. That's spot on with the value here. I do have a couple other guys ranked. We could have taken Deebo Samuel. I did have him 1 spot ahead, but I will take Keenan Allen at a discount there based on ADP. And then we're almost up to pick here. I don't know if I'm going to like this board as we're about to pick here. Jerry Najee Harris, DeAndre Hopkins. It's kind of ugly. Travis Etienne, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore. There's Mike Williams at 46. I don't know if I want to reach on Mike, but we could try and force the issue. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take Mike Williams here. Let's see if we can build out a little Chargers stack. See if Justin Herbert falls to us. We only need these three, I guess 4 teams need to pass on Justin Herbert here. We'll see if we can get it. This guy's got Eckler already. He could have waited for Justin Herbert. Didn't need to take our Josh Allen. So that is what it is. My Mike Williams exposures, I got him at 9%, so that's fine. My ADP is 48. His ADP is 46.4, so a little bit behind market there on the ADP. So I like that. And yeah, obviously, if we can stack Keenan with Big Mike, that's going to feel pretty good. But so far, Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams to start. Just curious in the comments if you guys want to let me know if I should have taken somebody else there. What would you have done differently? I'm always interested in hearing your guys' thoughts. DeAndre Hopkins at 42, man. Like, I'm nervous about that because right now, I think the DraftKings and the prop bets right now for DeAndre Hopkins to sign somewhere, it looks like the Patriots are the #1 team to sign DeAndre Hopkins. Let me actually look that up right now. DeAndre Hopkins odds. Let's see here. Next team odds. This was from June 26th, so it's a little bit old. But yeah, the New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans were the top 3 teams. I want to see. This was from 14 hours ago, so this is the best bet. Yeah, the Patriots remain the favorite to sign D-Hop at -120. The Bills, the Titans, and the Lions, the next best teams for him. But anyways, oh man, so you're getting a lot of sniping in here. This guy takes a naked Joe Burrow. He blocks Jamar Chase and T. Higgins at the 1. I wouldn't do that, guys. Like, and I get it. Like, if you're looking at your neighbor and you're like, oh, I don't want him to get it, but I totally understand it, but I think you should let this be. Joe Burrow doesn't really help this team very much here, and it helps this team a lot. But here, I don't know if it makes that much sense. Sure, you get Burrow at a little bit of a discount, but it's kind of annoying when you get sniped on QBs like this. And yeah, we're on track to get our man at ADP right now. I don't want to talk much about it, but we'll see what happens. Let me see what's popping in the chat room here. And he takes naked Justin Herbert from us. This is just ridiculous, guys. So much sniping going on here. It is getting silly. I'm just kind of filtering through the comments here to see what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, this is a crazy lobby here. Everyone's just kind of sniping everybody here. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. We got naked Joe Burrow, naked Justin Herbert. You got a naked Josh Allen, naked Lamar Jackson so far. But anyways, we're on deck here. Looks like Joe Mixon, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker are the best available here for us. We do have 3 really good wide receivers so far. I don't see one that sticks out here. This looks like a running back spot, whether it's Mixon, Jones, Walker, maybe Madison. I do like J.K. Dobbins a good amount as well. I'm not sure what's going on with Joe Mixon. I'm underweight on Mixon as it is. So I think, again, he's a few picks after ADP. I'll pull Joe Mixon here. I do need more shares of Joe. Let me see where I have him. I only have 4% Joe Mixon, and my ADP is 56. So I've been getting him at a value when he does fall. We did take him at 56 again here. So I'm cool with Mixon when he falls. And then, oh, man, Treylon Burks at 58th overall. I'd love to see it, man. I have my Treylon Burks bags packed pretty hard. Treylon he's got an ADP of 63 right now. He just got taken at 58. My ADP is 69.5. I have 19% Treylon Burks. So I love it when I see Treylon Burks just continue to rise because it means my other teams are going to be looking pretty good. So we take Mixon here at 56, Aaron Jones, Treylon Burks, J.K. Dobbins, Kenneth Walker. So we did kind of, time the running back run appropriately here. You also have Trevor Lawrence getting stacked with Calvin Ridley here at the round 5-6 turn. And as we are up to pick soon, let me see what we got here. Marquise Brown, Alexander Madison, Michael Pittman Jr. remain the top players available here. My Alexander Madison shares, I don't have a ton. I'm at 4%. My ADP is 87.8 though. So that does look pretty good. George Kittle just went. I suppose I could take Madison here if he falls. Michael Pittman Jr. shares, what do those look like? I got 7% Pittman. I'm low on Mike Evans and I'm low on Madison. So Madison might be the pick here. At 59, we're getting him at a discount already from his ADP. So I don't hate that pick if that's what it's going to give us. And then we have a really well-balanced team. We got Chubb, Mixon, Diggs, Allen, Mike Williams. Obviously, it would have been nice to get Justin Herbert, but people gotta be annoying sometimes. You know, take players ahead of ADP and snipe. It looks like we're gonna get auto timed here. There goes Mike Evans. Okay, so we get the ADP to fall to us. I technically 2 players are available here. Madison's available beyond ADP, and so is Michael Pittman Jr. I'm lower on Madison in my share, so I'm gonna collect him. We'll grab a third running back here. I like his value at this point of the draft. Again, 59th overall. He should have been where J.K. Dobbins is being picked. We'll collect Madison here. And then my shares, again, I'm at 4%. My ADP is 87.8. That's going to shrink a little bit, but I'm still way ahead of the market on Alexander Madison shares, my ADP. Miles Sanders, Cam Akers, the next 2 players off the board. I just want to see my shares of those 2 players. I'm low on both. I have 7% Sanders and 5% Akers. I do want to continue to get those shares a little bit higher here. They're both pretty solid 6th-round picks. I kind of like the running backs here because the receivers, I mean, you see Marquise, Mike Evans, Addison, Pittman. These guys all have kind of question marks here. So I don't hate the 6th-round running back call. Dameon Pierce is another good running back in the 6th round that you can get. So there's some good ones falling here. Sometimes J.K. Dobbins falls. Sometimes Kenneth Walker falls. I'm in on this 6th-round running back theory here. But we're moving into the 7th round now. Jahan Dotson just ended the 6th. I would really like a quarterback yet. We don't have any stacking options available. Diggs, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams are all gone, or their quarterbacks are all gone. We could maybe line up some backdoor stacks with some players. I could get, Gabe Davis on the team with Stephon Diggs and kind of build out a Buffalo thing. This guy takes Deshaun Watson way ahead of ADP here. 73rd overall. Not sure that's a good idea. Let me see where Deshaun Watson's ADP is. I mean, Deshaun's got an 82.5 ADP, so he's reaching because Deshaun Watson should have been an end of the 7th round pick. I don't know if that makes sense here. And then Harlan Brown here does get Quentin Johnson stacked with his Herbert. Michael Thomas at 74. You're seeing some ADP reaches here to start the 7th round. Goddard, Montgomery. This is looking good for us to grab a wide receiver here, it looks like. And to be honest, I don't hate Darren Waller, guys. Tony, Pickens, Gabe, Darren Waller here. I don't know if we're going to get Waller to fall to us. Only one guy has a tight end here. I do like George Pickens a lot, but I'm gonna grab Darren Waller. I'm picking at number 80. Waller's ADP is 81.7. Let's see, Waller's ADP. I'm only 4% Darren Waller, so I do want to get more exposure to him. And my ADP is 86, so I'm still fine with that number. And now we have a pretty well-balanced start of 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end here. Kind of my overall rule is I want at least 5 pass catchers through the first 8 rounds. So we have 3 receivers and a tight end. That's 4. I would like to get at least 1 more wide receiver here. We'll see if one of these wideouts can fall to us, whether it's Pickens, Gabe. I do like Elijah Moore quite a bit. Rashad Bateman, I don't hate either. It looks like we're probably going to end up taking one of these guys. After I take Waller, you see James Conner, Kadarius Toney. Toney continues to fall. And I'll be honest, I don't think I have 1 Kadarius Toney share. On drafters, I have 0 Kadarius Toney shares. There goes Bateman, Pickens, and Gabe Davis. So the wide receiver run is pretty hot and heavy here. I want to look at my Elijah Moore exposures. I'm 11% Elijah Moore. My ADP is 91.9. 86 is about his ADP right now. We might miss on Elijah, but that would be just fine. I don't know what makes sense here. I do kind of want to line up. I'm trying to line up Daniel Jones at 104 to stack with Darren Waller. So that's kind of the move there that I set up. And it's easy to get when you take Waller in the 7th, it's easy to line up Daniel Jones. So I do like this idea of potentially snagging my QB and tight end duo. Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, top receivers available. Sutton, Zay Flowers, James Cook. Nothing really sticking out here. We're on deck here. I do think the move would be Elijah Moore, so hopefully we don't get sniped on this pick. And Brandon Cooks is falling a little bit here. I do like Brandon Cooks. A little bit high on him. I have 12% Brandon Cooks, and there goes Zay Flowers. So I'm going to collect Elijah Moore. This is a player here that we're getting after ADP by about 5 picks. We're picking 89. His value is 85.9. So we'll collect Elijah Moore to be our wide receiver 4. And I'm pretty excited about Elijah Moore. I just want to see where I have him in my rankings. Elijah Moore is my 78th ranked flex player, so that's a good value. We get him at 80. I think we got him at 89, and I have him ranked 78th in my flex ranking. So I'm feeling good about that. After I take Elijah Moore, you see Brandon Cooks, Dalvin Cook, Anthony Richardson, and James Cook go. I really like James Cook. I was taking him a lot in June. I've been cooling off in July to start July here because I was kind of overexposed on James Cook. Yeah, I'm at 17% James Cook, so I have a lot of them. I do see his ADP rising once it gets to training camp here, so I do want to continue to take him while we can get it. But I just think when it comes to Buffalo training camp, we might see James Cook's ADP rise a little bit. So continue to monitor him. Courtland Sutton, Allen Lazard, Odell Beckham, Samaje Perine. We are now into the 9th round. Again, I got a pretty well-balanced start. There are going to be some wide receivers that I like in the 10th, 11th round. I'm fine with grabbing my QB1 here at 104. If we can get Daniel Jones, I'm feeling pretty good about that. We're seeing Dak Prescott, Tua, and Kirk Cousins all drop here. This guy should probably just collect his he doesn't take the Justin Jefferson Kirk Cousins duo. He gets Antonio Gibson. And yeah, Gibson's a top 100 pick now in full PPR leagues. I think people need to come around and accept that he's going to get a lot of passing down work. Last year, J.D. McKissick had 40 targets. Gibson himself, I think, had 58. So there's a lot of targets available for the running backs in the Commanders' offense. Yeah, last year, 58 Gibson targets, 40 McKissick. That's almost 100 targets. And even if Gibson doesn't get all those, it's going to be a pretty good opportunity for him. And well done. He gets this. Why not me? Gets his Tua stacked with Tyreek Hill. We're up to pick Javonte Williams, Evan Ingram. I could maybe play the QB game here, but I'm gonna make sure I just get Daniel Jones and see what comes back. Nothing else really sticks out. I do like Zach Charbonnet, but I'm gonna just make sure I get my stack here. I got Daniel Jones with Darren Waller. We'll probably queue up some Giants receivers late as well. Seems like a good plan here. And CeeDee Lamb gets paired with Dak Prescott, so that's good to go. Zach Charbonnet off the board. And then as I'm coming around the bend here, I've already got Darren Waller. But if you watch my streams, you guys know I'm all in on Pat Freiermuth this season. And when I was looking at my flex rankings, Pat Freiermuth was high on my flex rankings. I mean, I got Pat Freiermuth as a 7th round value, 77th overall here. I have him right next to Kyle Pitts, George Kittle. I think he is severely mispriced right now. So if he comes back around, I think that would be the move. Hopefully we get some of these QBs, David Njoku off the board. And there we go. It's Pat Freiermuth. I have this uncanny skill to bring up a player before I'm picking, and he always gets sniped. So that's just the way it goes. But as I'm looking around here, receivers on the board, I really like grabbing Sky Moore, Romeo Doubs, Jacoby Myers, Rondale Moore. That's in the 10th round. I think all these guys have a little bit of upside into their profiles here. I do like Nico Collins a lot. I don't expect him to get back to us. So I'm thinking wide receiver is the move here. Top running backs available. Brian Robinson wouldn't be a bad pick either. But again, I feel pretty good about my RBs, Chubb, Mixon, and Madison. I want to continue to build up my wide receiver core of Diggs, Keenan, Mike, and Elijah Moore here. And it looks like we're going to get one of my guys here. Kirk Cousins is falling pretty hard. There goes Geno Smith, Damian Harris. I'm kind of cooling off of. Tyler Boyd is fine. But we're going to take, I think we're going to take Sky Moore here at ADP. His ADP is 113.8. I'm picking at 113. So I will collect Sky Moore. I do feel pretty good about him. I feel better about Sky Moore at his ADP than Kadarius Toney. I get Kadarius Toney has some pretty good skills, but I'm expecting a year 2, not a year 2 breakout, but a year 2 jump for Sky Moore. I think he's going to be the starting slot receiver. I think Kadarius Toney is more he's more fit for the Mecole Hardman role, to be honest with you. I don't think Kadarius Toney's an every down player. I think Sky Moore can be their slot receiver and soak up those Juju targets from last year. So that's something I've been targeting here. I kind of like the 10th, 11th round receivers, if we're being honest, like Romeo Doubs, Jacoby Myers, Rondale Moore, even Zay Jones. He's a good piece in a good offense. And then for sure, Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins is severely mispriced. He's the number one receiver on his team. And I get it. You got CJ Stroud throwing the ball, but I think he's still a pretty good value this late. You can get a wide receiver one in the 10th or 11th round. So that seems like a no-brainer to me. But anyways, we're moving and grooving here. After I take Sky Moore, Kirk Cousins, Tyler Boyd, Damian Harris, Brian Robinson, Romeo Doubs, and Elijah Mitchell. We have a pretty well-balanced team. I like where this is heading. We got our Daniel Jones to Darren Waller stack. We got our Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, Alexander Mattison triple running back room. And then our wide receivers are Diggs, Keenan, Mike Williams, Elijah Moore, and Sky Moore. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And if we can get one more of the Moores, that would feel really good as well. We're picking at 128. We'll see if someone falls to us. To start the 11th round, you see Chig Okonkwo, Jamal Williams. I do have a good amount of Jamal Williams shares on my squad this season so far. I think my percentages are probably up in the upper teens. I got 18% Jamal Williams. My ADP is 126.4. But again, he's being picked at 122 in this draft. I think his ADP, especially once, Alvin Kamara has to go to, I think he's got his court hearing at the last day of July. Once we get there, I think you're probably going to see Jamal Williams ADP and Kamara's almost flip. Kamara went 98th. I think you might see Jamal Williams be a fringe top 100 pick. But anyways, after Jamal, Nico, Juju, Jalen Warren, great pick there, a little bit early. Jerick McKinnon, right now. We missed Jacoby Myers, but I get my guy Rondale Moore. And I'm pretty excited about Rondale Moore. Looking at his game logs from last year, surprised me. 18, 14, 23, 4, 10, and 13. He's a guy that they can give a lot of volume to, even if it's Colt McCoy for part of the year, or if it is Clayton Tune. I think there's going to be a low ADOT going on in Arizona, and Rondale Moore fits what I'm looking for here in the 11th round to be my wide receiver 6. We got Elijah Moore, Sky Moore, and Rondale Moore. We got the triple Moore stack going on here, so that feels pretty good. And now I can kind of like breathe. I have my wide receiver room built out pretty well. I mentioned maybe getting some Giants receivers, to tack on to my Daniel Jones stack at some point. We can probably begin to pivot towards running back here. We can maybe even look at a backup tight end. I think there's going to be a lot of options. We can even look at, a backup QB here, whether it's Russell Wilson, who's falling. I don't see really any more stacks available. I do want to continue to try and get Kyler Murray on my teams just in case he does play more than, 10 games. And the running backs are getting beat up pretty good right now. But I do like Kendre Miller, whose ADP has fallen a little bit too much. Kendre Miller is one of my most drafted running backs this season. I got 19% Kendre. My ADP is 135. I think he should be up a little bit higher. And again, once he gets to training camp, man, and we start seeing reports and stuff on him, I think he's probably going to pop. In comparison to Jamal Williams, Kendre Miller is going to be like night and day. Like, holy shit! Like, this guy looks like a stud. I could take Russell Wilson, a falling Russell Wilson here. I don't hate it. Derek Carr, Jordan Love, the running backs here, nothing really impresses me here. Gallup, Darnell Mooney, the tight ends, Higbee, Dulcich, nothing really sticks out here. So I'm going to collect Russell Wilson, my QB2, behind Daniel Jones. And I do have some outs with the passing offense here for Denver. I can go down here. I want Marvin Mims on a lot of my best ball teams. And then I really like Tim Patrick late. So if we can grab some of these Giants receivers and some of these Bronco receivers, I think we're going to feel pretty good about that. So we have some outs for stacking there. And we do need a backup tight end yet. If we can get Greg Dulcich, I'm totally on board with that. I don't know if he's going to make it 10 picks past ADP, but we will try. There are some guys that I like down here, whether it's, Irv Smith, Gerald Everett, Sam Laporta. There's some fun upside picks down this late at tight end. But again, with Darren Waller, Basically, the bet with this team is Darren Waller plays a full 16, 17 games. He goes for 1,000 yards. He catches 7, 8 touchdowns. That's what's going to get this team in the money. So I'm fine with kind of going all in on Darren Waller on this build. And there goes Greg Dulcich. So that's unfortunate. We don't get to stack our tight end with Russ Wilson. That's just fine. After I take Russell Wilson, you see Gallup, Rashee Rice, DJ Chark, Darnell Mooney. I don't feel great about a lot of the receivers in the 12th round. I think you want to be ahead and you want to collect those guys I was talking about earlier. I don't mind Mingo. I like Van Jefferson. Gallup's fine. Not sure about Rashee Rice yet. DJ Chark's a high upside guy, but he's just had trouble staying healthy. And then Darnell Mooney, I don't think is a great pick. I don't trust the passing volume in Chicago at all. I like Dulcich. And then Singletary and Rashawn Johnson. So we could probably start to look at running back coming up here. We're picking at 152. We could reach for Kenneth Gainwell. We could maybe get Jerome Ford falling on the comeback here. But again, I'm feeling pretty good about our running back room. Kenneth Gainwell's ADP is just out of control right now. I mean, my ADP is 171.2. His ADP right now is 159. So I do have 13% Kenny G. I've been drafting him a ton. His ADP continues to climb. I do want to make sure I can get Marvin Mims. So I'm going to reserve pick 161 for Marvin Mims. And maybe that means we look at tight end here. Kincaid, Cole Kmet, Irv Smith. I'm not in love with any of these tight ends. I do like Gerald Everett quite a bit. We do have that Keenan Allen, Mike Williams thing built out here. So that could be the move. Wide receivers at this point, Thielen, Pierce. There's Isaiah Hodgins, who I do like quite a bit. We could get him stacked, but I think what I'm going to do here, again, I don't love reaching on these running backs. I think we can maybe just kind of pigeonhole some guys late. I'm going to grab Gerald Everett, man. This is a good passing offense. We get Gerald Everett to be our backup tight end behind Darren Waller. So now we have 2 QBs, 3 running backs, 6 wideouts, and 2 tight ends. And I'm kind of punting at running back right now. I feel good about Nick Chubb being our guy all year long. Mixon and Madison can kind of, sub in. I do potentially like grabbing some late running backs, whether it is – I love Tajay Spears a lot. We could get, our backup handcuffs with Ty Chandler and Madison. We could maybe get a guy like Pierre Strong. I do like him. Chase Brown's interesting. We can also maybe try and get Chase Brown paired with Travion Williams and get that backup Bengals spot secured and kind of play it that way. I don't hate that. But after I take Everett, you see Alec Pierce, Jordan Love off the board. And we'll see what happens. I think we're going Marvin Mims with this next pick. I'm not afraid to reach on Marvin Mims. We do have Russell Wilson. I got 15% Mims. My ADP is 170. His ADP is 168. On some websites, he is falling, and I don't get it. I really don't get it. I want to pull that up. I'm going to go to DraftKings ADP. I think I posted that there. I believe Mims was like one of the top fallers on DraftKings ADP. Where is Mr. Mims? Yeah, he's falling in ADP on DraftKings. He's down about almost 3 spots to 181 in a full PPR league. So Mims, we're taking him at 168. I want him on pretty much every DraftKings team that I have because you can get him in the 180s, and that just feels disrespectful to Marvin Mims. There goes Hodgins, Isaiah Ford. We're on deck here. I don't love Kincaid. I think he is falling like a knife right now. He's a hot knife falling, and his ADP fall right now on DraftKings is pretty steep, about 4 picks. He's going about 124 on DraftKings, which just seems way too early. But we get our guy. I'll take Marvin Mims here. We have a good wide receiver core now with 7 stud wideouts. Look at the running backs. Falling Chuba. Chuba's gone. Deonta Foreman, Raheem Mostert. I like grabbing some of these veterans here. We could corner the backfield in Miami with Raheem and Jeff Wilson. Gus Edwards, another option. Leonard Fournette. These guys are all going to get work at some point here. I even don't mind Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Kareem Hunt could sign anywhere. Kareem Hunt is my dark horse to sign with Cincinnati. I think that would be a really good signing for them. But again, basically, I want to believe that Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, and Alexander Madison can carry this team to the promised land. I want to believe Darren Waller, Daniel Jones is going to be the stack that propels me to the finish line. I'm kind of drafting like these are my studs, and that's what's going to get me there. I like the depth at wide receiver that we've built out. We maybe just need, again, either Tim Patrick or one of those Giants receivers to finish this thing off. Then we're looking pretty good. But yeah, Dalton Kincaid, man. Let's go to the drafters fallers here. Drafters ADP. And all this stuff is accessible on the fantasyfellowship.com. I'm just going to click ADP risers and fallers. Fallers right now, they do have Dalton Kincaid at about 140 ADP, down about 3.7 spots. And Marvin Mims is fallen. I don't get that. I think we're at this point now where these rookies, a lot of rookies on this list, Josh Downs, Jalen Hyatt, Zach Evans, Tank Dell. You got Rashee Rice, Chase Brown, Kincaid, Mims, Laporta. This is the time to be buying those rookies because everybody bought them up way too early in May after the draft. And now we're starting to see these guys come down to their actual, floor values, and it's starting to feel pretty good. Now, I'm in the belief that the Dolphins are not going to bring in Dalvin Cook. So if that's true, Raheem Mostert presents a pretty good value at this point. And I believe he's one of the fallers. Is he one of the fallers? Raheem. I know A-Chain's a faller. So Mostert's not one of the top fallers. Interesting. Mostert, Tajay Spears stick out. We're picking at 176, and both these guys are at 173 and 174. Tight ends, Laporta, Dawson Knox, Taysom Hill, who I like a lot. I don't know if I need a third QB in this build. I do want a third tight end. There goes Tajay Spears. Tajay is moving up the boards. Kenny Pickett's a nice value, man. 161 ADP, and we're picking at 176. Laporta is available as well. I'm going to grab Raheem Mostert, though, because, again, I don't feel like the Dolphins are going to sign Dalvin Cook. If they wanted Dalvin Cook, they would have given him a deal that he would have liked. I don't think he's going to sign there. Let's look at the Dalvin Cook odds. Is there something updated recently? This is June. The Patriots are the favorite to sign both Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Hopkins. Let me do a better search here. Next team odds. This is from June 13th, but I don't know if I'm agreeing with any of these things. Let me go to Twitter real quick. I'm curious to see what team leads the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes. Dalvin Cook odds. That's from June 8th. The Patriots are the favorite to sign D-Hop and Dalvin Cook. Again, odds have quickly shifted on DraftKings, and the Patriots are now plus 250 along with the Dolphins plus 250. So the Patriots and the Dolphins head-to-head here. I do think the Jets are a sneaky team to add Dalvin Cook because they have the money to do so, and they're not sure if Breece Hall is going to be 100% for week one. So it makes sense. We're getting that following Kyler Murray here, guys. I think that might be my pick. He is top available, 178 ADP. I do have Rondale Moore here. We can I have a sleeper tight end that I want to share with you guys yet. So I need my Kyler Murray shares up. So I'm going to take him as my QB3. Let's take a look at my Kyler Murray percentages. I'm 4% Kyler. This will increase me a little bit here. I feel good about this one. We get him after ADP. I know teams are worried about him, but I think at some point we're going to see Kyler Murray. He's probably not going to run as much as we're hoping for. But again, as my QB3, I mean, at this point, it feels pretty good. You got Stroud, Mack, Rizard, hopefully Kyler Murray, comes back in October and he plays, 10, 12 games and ends up scoring some games for us. So that's cool. Again, I mentioned, Jeff Wilson did go 182. Dang it. Ty Chandler could be a nice backup for us with Alexander Mattison. So with Ty Chandler, if anything happens to Alexander Mattison, I view the Vikings being like a full-blown RB by committee. I expect DeWayne McBride and Ty Chandler to split like first and second down duties, but I don't think DeWayne McBride's a pass catcher. I think Ty Chandler and Keen Nwangwu are the pass catchers. You're probably going to see this ugly threesome at running back here. So I don't hate grabbing a Ty Chandler. My Ty Chandler shares are pretty absurd right now. I have 14% Ty Chandler. My ADP is 212. I was drafting him in the 20th round all of June, and then as soon as Dalvin Cook gets cut, you start to see these Vikings guys all creep up here. I have a little bit of Nwangwu. I have 4% Nwangwu, and then my McBride shares. I'm not excited about McBride because Drafters is a full PPR website. I don't see McBride catching passes. Basically, his only value is as a rusher. So I'm not super excited about that. I want to target pass catchers on Drafters. And looks like we're picking at pick number 200. That is where Tim Patrick lays. That is where Pierre Strong is in play here as well. We missed out on the Giants receivers, but to be honest, I'm fine with that. We got Darren Waller. We got Tim Patrick goes, man. I have that curse where I say a player's name and he just gets picked instantly, so it sucks. But who cares? We're almost up to pick again. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 pretty good wideouts. Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is the trio that we're going to hope starts most of our games. And then at flex, we got Elijah Moore, Sky Moore, Rondell Moore, and Marvin Mims. That feels pretty good there. I do have a sleeper tight end that I want to keep an eye on. That's Trey McBride. I'm hoping he falls back to us at 209. I think this is a I think this is a running back pick. Whether it's Leonard Fournette, who I do think will sign with a team. I do think Pierre Strong is another player that will sign or that will have some value this year. I'm 6% Fournette, and I am 4% Pierre Strong. I'm going to go with Pierre Strong in this one. Actually, F it. Let's go Fournette. Because if this has been one of my thoughts, is if Joe Mixon just gets cut by the Bengals because he won't take a pay cut, I think Leonard Fournette's their guy. So that plays pretty well for me. I'm totally cool with grabbing Fournette. He's going to sign somewhere. He's ready to play. I think he's 28 years old. Let me see here. Leonard Fournette. He's 28. He's still got a year or two left. I mean, if Latavius Murray still has a job at age 33, Leonard Fournette still has at least 4 or 5 years of work here. I think people are kind of sleeping on him. I like Fournette this late. And hopefully, so I'm trying to get this little stack of Kyler Murray, Rondell Moore, and the tight end that I have starred here. I don't want to say his name and jinx it, but that's kind of where I'm going here. Jalen Hyatt is falling pretty late, but I'm not into Jalen Hyatt, guys. It's a crowded room. I don't have any Jalen Hyatt on Drafters. It's a crowded room over there in the Giants system, and I just don't think he's going to be on the field very much. So we'll see what happens there. But if we get my pick here, I'm feeling pretty good. This guy just took 2 tight ends in a row. I don't think he's going to take a tight end again. Let's see. And then tomorrow's a big day for me, guys. I have a guest. I'm gonna be a guest on a pretty big fantasy football podcast tomorrow, and he takes my guy. Oh my God, Tax Masters takes my tight end. Ouch. Oh, that one hurts. I could take another veteran here in Kareem Hunt, Hayden Hurst, Michael Mayer. Hayden Hurst is kind of cheap here. I don't have a ton of Hayden Hurst, so we'll collect Hayden Hurst. Darren Waller, Everett, and Hayden Hurst. Let me see my Hayden Hurst shares. Only 5%, so that's cool. I'll collect Hayden Hurst. He's got an ADP of 199. We get him at 209, so that feels pretty good. We have 2 picks left. We need 1 more receiver and probably 1 more running back. I do like Kareem Hunt this late. I like Zamir White as well. I don't mind Josh Kelly. I think he's the backup to own in the Chargers offense. I don't think the Chargers are going to sign a running back here, so Josh Kelly feels pretty safe. I like taking flyers on Deneric Prince, Jordan Mason, Nwangwu, Travion Williams. These are just some of the guys that I'm just taking late round flyers on at the RB position. Kenyon Drake is probably going to get signed somewhere yet too before the season starts. I don't know where, but the dude had some big games last year. Some really nice games for Baltimore. So keep an eye on Mr. Drake. And then at wide receiver here, Josh Palmer, just another Charger. Terrace Marshall Jr. has been a guy I've been clicking a lot of. I like Tank Dell. I'm interested in Puka. I haven't drafted a ton of Sterling Shepard, but there's Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson's a guy that intrigues me because the Cardinals don't have big receivers. Wilson is their only big wide receiver in town. he could be a guy that gets a lot of use on the outside. Let me just see here. Husey won a bet 100. Oh my goodness. But anyways, we're coming to the final 2 rounds here. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Again, this is I think my 16th draft. Yeah, my 16th $20 draft here. So we're getting up there in numbers. I want to continue to do this for the rest of the summer. But yeah, and again, if you guys are new to the show, definitely subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. That really helps the channel grow and it lets people know this is a good video. I also, I record these videos live. I don't stream them live though. I'm streaming this live right now to Twitch. So if you guys want to follow us on Twitch, that's where I live stream a lot of my videos, but I kind of do them hidden on YouTube, and then I'll go back and upload the video. I found that uploaded videos tend to do a little bit better than live streams for some reason. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. But running backs available. Zamir White is an interesting guy this late. I think there's a lot of question marks, and Josh Jacobs hasn't signed his deal yet. I think there might be more work on the future here for Zamir White. So we'll take Zamir, RB6. Again, we went pretty heavy with our running backs here, so I don't mind just tacking on some guys late. Oh, we get a little update here. And then our final walk-off pick, we want wide receiver here. There's some good guys falling here. I like Michael Wilson because he pairs with our Kyler Murray and our Rondale Moore. I think Wilson's going to get a lot of opportunity. I think Mac Hollins is another sleeper. I think Nelson Aguilar is a good sleeper. Tutu Atwell, Cedric Tillman. Sounds like Trent Sherfield out in Buffalo is a guy that could be a player that makes some noise. Otherwise, yeah, it gets pretty ugly down here, down this far. Kenny Galladay is not with a team. What a bust. But yeah, we're having fun. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your July 4th, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of the week too. And again, tomorrow I'm going to be on Football Guys on the couch with Sigmund Bloom. Very, very looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a pretty fun show. We're going to be talking about breakout offenses in 2023. So I have a few teams in mind that I'm going to be bringing up with some data. And it looks like we're on deck here. Tank Dell, Puka Nacua, Michael Wilson. Not sure what I want to do here. I like Michael Wilson a lot. I think he's a guy that could get overlooked here. It's not a very good wide receiver room in Arizona. They have Marquise Brown. They have Rondale Moore. They have Greg Dortch. Michael Wilson's kind of that fourth guy, and he's their only big receiver. He's probably going to be on the field a good amount. So I'll end the draft with Michael Wilson, and then we are complete. Here is our final build. We ended up with Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray as our top 3 QBs. We have stacks sprinkled throughout this. We have running backs, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, Alexander Mattison. That's going to be the 3 that we rely on all season. We do have 3 capable backups, though: Raheem Mostert, Leonard Fournette, and Zamir White. The wide receiver room, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Those are our top 3 guys that are going to score hopefully the most points for us. Otherwise, we have potential wide receiver 3 or flex potentials from Elijah Moore, Sky Moore, Rondale Moore, rookie Marvin Mims, rookie Michael Wilson. And then our tight end room feels good. Darren Waller, Gerald Everett, Hayden Hurst, all pretty good values at ADP. So there you go. That is the Drafters $1,200,000, $300,000 to first place. We'll see if we can take it down. Hopefully we just recorded the stream that takes it down, and that will be cool to come back and watch. But either way, enjoy the rest of your day. You can see I'm a little red here, guys. Get some sun, go touch some grass, all that good stuff. We'll see you in a future video. Peace.